The Chamber of Convergence hadn't been opened in 3,000 cycles. Caroline stood at its entrance, her human eyes adjusting to the bioluminescent veins that pulsed through the obsidian walls like captured starlight. Beside her, Josiah shifted his weight, his boots scraping against stone older than Earth's recorded history. "You sure about this?" Josiah whispered, his breath forming small clouds in the frigid air. Caroline nodded, though her pulse hammered against her ribs. The Galactic Council had summoned them specifically to humans among representatives from 47 species, all gathered to witness what the ancient progenitors had left behind. Ambassador Veltora, a towering Kishari with crystalline exoskeleton, gestured with 3 of his 6 arms. "Follow precisely. The chamber tolerates no deviation." They descended through corridors that seemed to breathe, walls contracting and expanding in rhythms that suggested something alive. Caroline's scientific mind catalogued every detail: the temperature gradients, the electromagnetic fluctuations, the way sound died completely in certain sections. Josiah walked close behind her, his presence a comfort in this alien place. The procession of species created a bizarre parade. The methane-breathing Xyloth floated in their containment spheres. The hive-mind chorus moved as one undulating mass. The energy-form ethereals left trails of ionized particles. And the humans Caroline and Josiah walked on 2 legs, flesh and blood, impossibly fragile among titans. The chamber opened before them. Like a flower of stone and light. At its center sat the throne. Caroline's breath caught. It wasn't a seat in any conventional sense, it was an impossibility made manifest. The structure seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously, its edges bleeding into spaces her eyes couldn't quite follow. One moment it appeared crystalline, the next organic, then purely geometric. Colors that had no names in any human language rippled across its surface. "The throne of dominion," Velthorin intoned, his translator rendering his reverence into perfect standard, "left by the progenitors before they ascended. For 3 million cycles, it has sat here, untouched, unclaimed." "Why unclaimed?" Josiah asked, his military training making him scan for threats. "Because it claims," the claimer hissed. Speaker Yormuth, a serpentine draconi whose species had ruled empires before humanity discovered fire. 73 species have sent their worthiest, all were found wanting. The throne consumed them, judged them, and rejected them. Those who survived were never the same. Caroline stepped closer, her scientific curiosity overriding her fear. The throne seemed to hum at a frequency just below hearing, a vibration she felt in her bones rather than heard with her ears. "What does it do?" she asked. "It chooses," Velthorin said simply. "The progenitors left records, fragmentary but clear. Whoever the throne accepts becomes the inheritor. Of what, we do not know. Power, perhaps, knowledge, the right to speak for all species. Or destruction," added an ethereal, its voice like wind through dead leaves. "Do not forget the Crimson Age. When the throne last stirred, entire civilizations burned." Caroline approached the base of the dais. Energy crackled in the air around the throne, making her hair stand on end. Behind her, she heard Josiah's sharp intake of breath. "Caroline, maybe we should." The throne moved. The chamber erupted in chaos. Species scattered, some fleeing, others assuming defensive postures. Weapons hummed to life. Shields materialized. But Caroline stood frozen, watching as the impossible structure began to shift. It was turning. Slowly, inexorably, the throne that had remained static for eons pivoted on its dais. The geometry of its construction bent reality around it, space warping like water around a stone, and it was turning toward her. "Impossible," breathed Velth. "It has never moved, never acknowledged any presence." Caroline felt its attention like a physical weight. The throne's surface rippled with symbols, mathematical proofs, chemical formulas, biological diagrams, languages both ancient and unborn. They flashed past faster than thought, yet somehow she understood. The throne was testing, probing, examining. "What?" Caroline asked aloud, her voice steady despite her trembling hands. "Why are you responding to me?" The chamber fell silent. Even the panicked species paused. To question the throne directly was either bravery or madness. The throne's rotation stopped, facing Caroline perfectly. A pulse of energy swept through the chamber, and suddenly every being present heard a voice not in their ears, but directly in their consciousness. Inquiry, perspective unique. Origin questioned. Caroline's scientific training kicked in. "You've been waiting for someone to ask why." Everyone else either fled in fear or approached in ambition. They wanted to claim you. "I want to understand you." Affirmation. Species analysis. Human, paradox species. simultaneously rational and emotional, violent and compassionate, destructive and creative, brief, existence, infinite curiosity. Josiah moved to Caroline's side. Is it going to hurt her? Negative recognition pattern. This unit responds to seekers, not conquerors. Human female demonstrates progenitor trait. Wisdom to question power before accepting it. Caroline took a deep breath. I don't want to rule anyone. I don't want power over other species. The throne pulsed with what might have been approval. Therefore, qualified. Progenitors designed protocol. Throne activates only for those who reject domination. Paradox ensures safety. Only the unworthy seek worthiness. So by not wanting it, Josiah said slowly, she proves she should have it. Simplification accepted. Human male demonstrates protective instinct and logical analysis. Per bonded species advantage noted. Caroline laughed a short, slightly hysterical sound. This is insane. You're an artifact left by gods, and you're trying to give power to someone who doesn't want it. Progenitor wisdom. Best leaders are those who must be convinced to lead. Query. Will human Caroline serve as mediator between species? Not as ruler, as translator, as bridge. Caroline looked at Josiah, then at the assembled species, watching with expressions ranging from terror to hope to calculation. She thought about humanity, young brash, constantly questioning, never satisfied with simple answers. If I say yes, she asked carefully, what happens? Throne shares progenitor, legacy, knowledge, languages, histories, perspective of species. Long ascended, human Caroline becomes keeper of ancient wisdom, burden and gift equally. Josiah squeezed her shoulder. Your choice, Caroline, always. Caroline studied the throng, this impossible relic that had judged species for millennia and found them wanting until now. Until a human woman asked the question no one else had thought to ask. Why? She took a step forward and placed her hand on the throne's surface. The universe opened, and Caroline understood. Later, when asked why the throne had chosen humanity, Caroline would simply smile and say, because we're the species crazy enough to question gods, and humble enough to listen to the answers. And the throne, for the first time in 3 million cycles, was satisfied.